Starting with the legislative update, there's been a couple of bills, not endorsed bills, but bills affecting Left 2 that have been getting hearings and show some signs of progress. The first one I want to talk about is the Public Hospital District EMT bill. Their board will recall you had a hearing on this topic earlier in the interim. By way of background, public hospital districts are considered by DRS to be a district and therefore a member or an employer under Left 2. And they have EMTs that work at those districts that meet then the definition of firefighter. The public hospital districts have been appealing that determination by DRS for a number of years. The original legislation passed in 2005, and the appeal is actually still ongoing at DRS. There's also a court case in Chelan County challenging the department's determination that a public hospital district is a district within the meaning of Left 2. The Public Hospital District Association and the State Council of Firefighters have been doing some negotiations on a bill to kind of resolve this legislatively. The concern with hospital districts is they have a number of people who work at the hospital who are EMTs but don't provide the type of emergency medical service that firefighter EMTs do. And so that there might be a large number of hospital district employees that would be affected by the DRS determination. And consequently then a large liability. Both the firefighters and the Public Hospital District Association have asked me to work on draft bills. There was a hearing on the original bill earlier this week, and that bill, a proposed substitute for that bill, is tentatively scheduled to be out of Senate Ways and Means this afternoon. I don't think the bill that's coming out this afternoon represents a final agreement, but both sides have wanted to try to continue the dialogue to come up with a resolution that works for both the employers and the members. I'll keep you posted on that one throughout session, but I'd be happy to answer any questions right now if there are any. Otherwise, the second bill that's got some discussion has to do with interrupted military service. In Left 2, if you have military service that interrupts your left employment, you receive service credit for that period of time at no charge when you return to work if it meets certain criteria. And one of those criteria is that it has to be during a period of war, as defined in statute. And then another criteria is that you have to receive a campaign badge or medal for that period of service. That's to distinguish between members who might have been in the military during a conflict, but actually, for instance, may have served their time here in the States, as opposed to overseas in the combat zone. Now, one of the issues that has come up is that for some of the more modern conflicts, campaign badges and medals aren't always issued. That was a requirement in the federal statute that we copied into the state statute. I'm not sure what they do on the federal level when members don't have a campaign badge or ribbon. Also at the state level, another kind of wrinkle that's come up is if you are assigned to the same conflict multiple times, like say you had a 6-month tour and then you came back and then you got another 6-month tour, you don't receive a campaign badge or medal for each individual tour. Now, DRS has addressed that issue by rule, saying that if a member's service would otherwise be such that it would qualify for a campaign badge or medal, they still receive interrupted military service credit for that time. This bill kind of addresses what this bill does is take it the next step and sort of it eliminates that campaign badge or medal requirement. That would mean that domestic service, for instance, would now qualify for the free interrupted military service, and it would expand the number of Left 2 members who would be eligible to receive that free interrupted military service credit. We don't have data at DRS or at the actuary's office to accurately estimate at this point in time the number of additional members. DRS has some data on members who applied for interrupted military service but were denied the free military service because they didn't meet the requirements. That gives a rough idea of maybe some people that are out there that would now be eligible for the free service. I should also mention that even if they're not eligible for the free service, members can purchase service credit for the time that they're on any military service by paying their contributions for the time that they're away. So this would be kind of expanding the paid military service option, or replacing that with a no-cost military service option. Not sure yet what the committee's intentions are with that bill. It received a hearing and it was exec out, so it's actually in rules. I should say I don't know what the Senate's intentions are with that bill in terms of whether it'll come out of the Senate or not, but we are tracking it. And at this time, it's still early in session. Their budget negotiations are going on. To what extent those negotiations involve Left 2 is still unclear. There hasn't been a lot of detailed talk. There doesn't seem to be any push in either the House or the Senate at this time to adjust the Left 2 board rates. That being said, there also doesn't seem to be there hasn't been any discussion about in the House or the Senate about the payment to the benefit improvement account that is owed for this biennium. That $25 million payment was not in the governor's budget. We'll know more about these topics when the first budgets get released, but we're a ways from that. This Friday is cut off for bills to get out of fiscal committees, so we should know more about the EMT bill. Again, it's tentatively scheduled to come out today out of Senate Ways and Means. With that, that's all of the legislative issues that are currently bubbling. The only other issue that I should mention, I've got several board members have contacted me about what, if anything, I've heard regarding merger. And there was a rumor last week that the Senate was going to release TERS 1, Left 1 merger bill again. That didn't happen, and it apparently came from some of the Left 1 coalition folks who had heard it from their leadership somehow. So I don't know. The bill was not introduced, and there's been mixed signals throughout so far at the start of this session as to whether or not it actually will be reintroduced in the Senate. Some senators state very strongly that they intend to include that bill as part of the Senate budget, and others are less enthusiastic or less confident that it will be considered in the Senate budget. So that's one we'll be watching carefully as budgets get closer to being released. There hasn't been any discussion in the House. I have been contacted by a couple of legislators saying that they might be interested in introducing a Left 1, Left 2 merger bill in the event that the Senate releases a Left 1, TERS 1 merger bill, and may at some point in time in the future ask for my assistance in drafting the Left 1, Left 2 merger bill. So I'll keep you posted on that as session goes along. Let's see. As far as the administrative update, we had a meeting with Department of Retirement Systems regarding the Left 2 disability rules. As you'll recall, about a year ago, we mentioned that DRS had asked the Left 2 board to engage in some joint rulemaking on the topic of duty disability WACs. And that process kind of stalled out. So there was a lot of internal discussion at DRS between administrative staff and legal staff and AGs with different viewpoints in terms of moving forward on the rules. So DRS has decided to create a project team for disability rulemaking, and that project team now, that methodology is what's used to kind of work through these challenging issues at DRS. It involves all the different groups at DRS and has a kind of a rigid process for making sure that all their input is accounted for and included. The board was invited to participate in that project team, and the first project team meeting that the board was invited to attend is this upcoming Friday. So again, when I met with the DRS, there was a dozen people at DRS at the first meeting that I met with. I outlined sort of the high-level goals for the Left 2 board, which is, again, that any duty determinations are consistent between LNI and DRS, and that any substantial gainful activity determinations are consistent between Social Security and DRS. And so I'll keep you posted as far as how the rulemaking piece develops out of that. Outreach activities. Tammy recently did a presentation to Everett firefighters that was very well received about the duties of the ombudsman. That's a presentation now that has gotten a lot of kind of positive buzz, and she's been asked to do that same presentation or a similar one in the past, and it's going to be kind of a popular request, I expect, in the upcoming year. She was asked to do a presentation at the educational conference for the firefighters later this year. She's not able to attend that. As we get closer, I'll be at that conference, and so I'll be presenting then, and we'll keep you posted as we get closer in terms of what the topics are. With that, the Washington State Council of Firefighters recently had their legislative conference. I was asked to give a brief presentation about what the Left 2 board does. There was a presentation by DRS about the implementation of the new annuity bill for retirees and the window that is currently in play for retired members of Left 2 and Left 1 to take advantage of that bill. That presentation was done by Sean Merchant from DRS, And so that was a solid presentation as well. Let's see, one bill that I neglected to mention, I meant to mention it, but it wasn't on my spreadsheet, so I kind of lost track of it. PTSD. There is a bill in the House that would make PTSD a presumptive duty-related condition for police officers and firefighters. Right now, a member can prove PTSD is duty-related, but they have to do it under the category of an occupational injury. And so it's a little bit technical in terms of L&I law, but essentially to be an injury, it has to be a one-time event. PTSD, the modern understanding of PTSD, is that it can certainly result from a single traumatic event. It can also result from repeated exposures to stressful or traumatic events. The diagnostic standard of the DSM Diagnostic Standard Manual now includes multiple repeated exposures as one of the causes of PTSD. So there's a push in the House to move PTSD from the standard of an injury to an occupational illness, which would allow for consideration of multiple exposures. That's a technical L&I area, though, and Bill also takes it a step further, not only adding it to the category of occupational illnesses, but making it a presumptive duty-related illness in the same way that certain cancers, for instance, are presumed to be duty-related. That bill's been moving through the House. It's scheduled for exec tentatively tomorrow and scheduled for a hearing in House Appropriations later this afternoon. We'll keep you posted as far as that bill as well. With that, I think that covers all of my legislative and administrative items, but I'd be happy to answer questions about any of those. Sorry for getting the order kind of boogered up there.
Yeah, Steve, Jason Granneman here. Can I get that bill number for the PTSD?
It's 1655.
55, okay. Is that a House bill?
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
And then today.
Sorry?
It's up for public hearing today.
Great. And then last for me, Steve, if you could have whoever staff member is most versed on the military service, give me a call at their convenience. I just have a few personal questions.
Will do.
That's all I got.
Are there any other questions? Before you guys check off, can we get a final tally of who's here? Apparently it sounded like a couple members may have joined while we were in progress. Mike, I heard you, and Jason. Mark, are you still here?
Yes, I am.
And Paul, are you still here?
I am.
And Wally?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and then we had Kelly Fox on WebEx. Is there anybody else that is here that I missed?
Yeah, this is David, and I caught you at the beginning there.
Okay, great. Thank you, David. As always, you guys can call or text me on my cell anytime you questions pop up in the event that you think of something regarding any of the issues that we talked about today, or something else comes up. And then the next meeting is scheduled for March 22nd. And again, that is intended to be another and of all electronic meeting with an admin update and a legislative update, but no action items.
All right. Thank you, Steve.
All right, with your permission then, we'll adjourn this meeting.
Sounds good. Thank you.